What's going on, fellas? And welcome to the He and Him podcast, where we discuss everything men surrounding ourselves around us and what we go through, and not just that, but attacking topics that have a lot to do with our progression and the things that we necessarily need in order to be our best self. So, fellas, I wanted to discuss with you today something very important to us, something I believe that is necessary when it comes down to who and what we are. Complacency when it comes down to other gentlemen around us holding other men accountable. The reason I wanted to speak on this is because of the current case of Puff Daddy, P Diddy, aka Mr. Love, aka all of his names. There's a lot of gentlemen around him who were complicit into what he was doing. They were sitting around watching him do the things he did. Nobody stopped him. Nobody stepped up in order to calm him down in the sense of stopping him completely. That bothers me 100% because I know for a fact that us as gentlemen can do so much better. We have so much more to offer this world than to be the type of men who stand back and stand down when it comes down to the wrongdoings around us. I know for a fact that a lot of you gentlemen out there are more than capable and well enough to be okay with, stopping other guys from doing wrong. I've been around it. I've been complicit. We've all been complicit, gentlemen. But we've seen another man do wrong and we said nothing about it. We've all been complicit in our own lives. I'm only using P. Diddy as a matter of fact case, but in reality, all of us have done it. And what I'm more sad about is the fact that because we've done it, because we constantly do it, and because we will continue to do it, you'll constantly have sexual deviants such as himself be able to be out here amongst us and be able to be out here amongst our children. I do not like that. I don't like him being able to be out here and guys like him being able to be out here amongst our children. If you have children and you want to protect them, then he is the type of person that you do that from, because there's nothing that says anything more about protection than putting people in their place when it comes down to how they affect other people's lives. It's also about how you affect other people's lives. So if you have other kids around you, ensure that your behavior, ensure that your mindset, ensure that you're the type of gentleman that wants to not only be around other kids, but also wants to have the impact on them that they need when it comes down to positivity and not necessarily being anything other than positive. I find it very odd that there are so many people who have this ability to constantly stand down when it comes down to taking care of people's children. I'm not talking about baby mama drama. I ain't talking about marrying into another family. I'm talking about the factor of just strangers. Us as gentlemen, we're supposed to be leaders of the community, constantly breaking down the metronomes and norms when it comes down to how we lead and how we do things. We're supposed to be the leaders. We're supposed to be telling other men how to lead. We're supposed to be telling other men how to do this the right way and not just in the subjugation to women. We're supposed to be doing that. And when we don't do that, all we do is put ourselves in positions to constantly lose. I know for a fact a lot of you guys are just tired of losing out there. I know you're tired of losing. I know you're tired of being on the other end of the stick and not knowing what to do. I wish that we didn't play the game of that we know what to do and just will be come out and be honest and say that we don't know what to do. It's okay to be honest and say, I have no idea exactly what I'm doing. I have no idea. I have no cause, no purpose, no will, no matter, no way. I don't know who and what I am, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I am a proponent of us not walking around in fear of what we lack. I am a proponent of us walking around understanding the lack and doing something about it. I'm all for that. If you're a gentleman and you walk around in fear because of what you lack, then you are just the type of gentleman where I look at and say, my guy, with all due respect, with every last bit of respect, stop that fear stuff, man. Stop that. There's nothing you as a gentleman need to be afraid of whatsoever. The only thing you need to be scared of is if you're not doing everything you're supposed to be. So I think a lot of gentlemen are running from their own shadow. I don't think a lot of you guys understand how important it is not to run from your own shadow. I think that as a guy, one of the things we can guarantee ourselves is that we're going to be scared of something and we're going to figure out how not to do something. We're gonna screw up in some way. And I just wish that a lot of us gentlemen would be honest with ourselves. I've screwed up, man. I have screwed up, fellas. And I ain't talking about in a screw up sense of way like, oh, we'll recover. I'm talking about I've screwed up in the sense of there is no recovery. There is no recovery. There's only getting better from that day forward. There's no recovery with that individual. There's no recovery in that situation. The situation is over. There's only getting better from that day forward. And I find it quite honestly, I'm not going to say disgusting or anything like that, but I find it horrible that there's so many of us guys who have this disdain for being our best freaking selves. I wish that we would be ourselves. I wish that we would give into the ideas that we can be ourselves. And I definitely wish that we would give into the ideas that there's nothing wrong with being exactly who you are. Now, if you allow this world to come in and kind of set your personality or set how you're supposed to be, then that is not manly. That is not manlike, and that is not something a man should do. A man is somebody who's a leader of the community, along with other male leaders, along with other men who have their proponents, or along with other men who have their strengths, their weaknesses in certain areas. We're supposed to have each other's back. But what has happened is we've left our communities up to these ideas and ideals of celebrity. We've left our communities up to women. We've left our communities up to nothing but people who don't necessarily understand or know why it is that a man is a man. We've left our communities up to people who even question what a man is. We've left our communities to these individuals who do not have a care as to what you actually are, what you were created to be. I don't care about Christian. I don't care about Muslim. I'm talking about being a man, being the person you were meant to be, just being the person you were meant to be. Now, a lot of people would talk about man and woman as a social construct. I would agree with that in the sense of sex, male, female. But the fact is, a man woman, in the sense of what a man and a woman is as old as time, right? It's as old as time. Adam and Eve, that's as old as time, right? Genitalia is what makes you a man and woman. Your personality is what gives you the spunk of the male, manhood or womanhood. And a lot of people are not a monolith. Obviously, some people are. I mean that in a sense of groupthink. But when it comes down to you being a man, you have every right and every ability to be less than perfect, and you have every right and ability to strive towards perfection, and no longer feeling that people are going to bound you down to what a man is and what a man isn't, because most people have no idea, including men, including us. We think that manhood is a monolith. We think that it's supposed to be something that we do versus something that we are. Okay. It's not a showmanship. It has nothing to do with how much you can impress another person. It has nothing to do with how much weight you can lift or what you can do in the gym. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with the fact that if you are a man and if you are any form of a male, then you should not be holding back from yourself, and you also shouldn't be holding back from society, and you also shouldn't be putting yourself in a position to constantly lose to the idea that you somehow have to be this type of man. That is subjugating you to not being yourself, which is your personality, right? It's personal and it's your personality. It's how you are. It has nothing to do with me, nothing to do with your, I don't know if Virgo, horrors, whatever. It don't have nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with your mentality and how you actually are. Now, if you will subscribe to the idea as a man that you are supposed to be the man that you're supposed to be and give into that 100%. Put it like this: how many of you gentlemen out here can say that you've dove foot first into things, that you've dove head first and you've gazed, no pun, pause, but you've dove into things to the point where nobody can take that, which is your quote unquote manhood, away from you. Everybody can only look at you and say, wow, I wish that I had that ability to be the type of man that this gentleman is. How many of you fellas can honestly say that? How many of you fellas can honestly look me in my eye and tell me, or look yourself in the eye and tell yourself you're doing everything possible in order to be the best man that you can? If you can't do that, if you aren't doing that, if you're not able to do that, then you, my friend, have a lot of work to do. And not just that, but you are not able to double speak and tell me how much of a man you are. And then go out here and you live a life unworthy of being called what you are or what you're seen as, right? If you're supposed to be a dad, then be a dad 100%. If you're shy, be shy 100%. If you're confident, be confident 100%. If you're strong, be strong 100%. Whatever it is you do, you put 100% of yourself into it, because that's what makes you up. Now, your weaknesses also, you have 100% of those. Also, taking those weaknesses and utilizing them in order to turn them into strengths. right? Because every man knows once you go to the gym, you find a lift that you're weak in. What you do? You keep working at it till you get strong at it. Why would you not do the same for your personality or mentality? Why wouldn't you do the same? You owe it to yourself, fellas. You owe it to yourself to give yourself the opportunity to do the same. No more holding back, no more giving in. And as far as when it comes down to a person like P. Diddy, if you got P. Diddy's in your life and you're complicit, shame on you. You should go to jail too. You got people in your life that's like that in any form of fashion, and you're complicit. Look at yourself as a man. That says a lot about your character. Do not be complicit into negative behaviors and wrong behaviors that have nothing to do with the advancement or the accentuation of your livelihood, nor does it have the accentuation or livelihood of your community. Fellas, the complacency and the complacency when it comes down to other people has to stop. We have to end it. And the only way that we can end it, gentlemen, is if we truthfully end it. I love y'all, man. That's it for today.